I think I just like tried it organically one day.
Hey WWE Universe! Welcome back to All in One, your home for the latest WWE updates, breaking news, and epic match recaps. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Let's jump right into it. What happened on SmackDown this week didn't feel like entertainment. It didn't feel like just another storyline or planned drama. It felt like a moment where the line between fiction and reality completely disappeared, leaving the WWE Universe speechless, shocked, and heartbroken. Paul Heyman, one of the most respected figures in the wrestling world, was the center of a segment that quickly spiraled out of control when Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed unleashed a brutal confrontation that no one expected. The crowd, the commentators, even the superstars backstage stood frozen in disbelief as a night meant for storytelling turned into something far more serious. This wasn't about championships or rivalries. It was about witnessing something that crossed emotional boundaries, the kind of moment that makes every fan ask, "How far is too far?" A segment that was never supposed to end. This way, the night began with what fans thought would be another classic Paul Heyman promo. Microphone in hand, lights dimmed, his voice echoing through the arena as he paid tribute to the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Heyman, a master of words, has spent more than 40 years building legacies and shaping moments that define eras. The crowd expected brilliance, emotion, and that signature Heyman flair that turns every promo into a performance. But as he spoke, something unexpected happened. The arena lights dimmed again, and Bron Breakker's music hit. The fans erupted in confusion. He had no known connection to Heyman, no ongoing story. Before anyone could make sense of it, Bronson Reed's music followed. Two men who had never stood side by side before were suddenly walking toward the same ring, and every viewer watching could feel that this wasn't a scheduled appearance. The tension in the arena was thick enough to cut through. You could see the concern on Heyman's face as he realized that this wasn't part of any planned moment. Something unpredictable was unfolding right in front of the world. The confrontation that went too far. As Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed entered the ring, Heyman tried to de-escalate. His voice trembled slightly, but his words were calm. The voice of a veteran reminding two rising stars that there are lines in this business that must never be crossed. But the look in their eyes said everything. What followed wasn't a scripted attack, but a sudden outburst of aggression that left everyone watching stunned. Both men cornered Heyman, shouting over his words, pushing him back into the turnbuckle as referees called for order. The crowd grew restless. Nobody expected this, and for a few tense moments, the entire segment felt painfully real. WWE officials and producers were seen rushing toward the ring, trying to regain control as the situation escalated. Cameras briefly cut to commercial, and when the broadcast returned, Heyman was being attended to by medical staff, lying motionless as the commentary team spoke in hushed tones. You could hear the fear in their voices. This was no longer entertainment. This was concern for a man who has given everything to the business. The aftermath and the unthinkable update. As the show continued, word began spreading across the arena and social media that Paul Heyman had been taken to a local medical facility for evaluation. WWE issued a brief on-air update stating that Heyman had suffered severe physical distress following the confrontation, but the company didn't elaborate further. Fans held their breath as rumors began circulating about the seriousness of his condition. Backstage footage later showed Roman Reigns arriving at the arena visibly shaken, his expression cold and unreadable. The Bloodline locker room was said to be in complete disarray, with emotions running high and people struggling to process what had happened. For decades, Paul Heyman has been the voice behind countless legends, from Brock Lesnar to Roman Reigns, and seeing him carried out of the ring on a stretcher was something fans never thought they'd witness. Even though official confirmation about his condition was limited, the gravity of the moment was clear. The fans could feel it. Something real had happened, and the WWE Universe wasn't ready for it. The WWE Universe erupts. Within minutes, social media was flooded with reactions. Fans from around the world shared their shock, anger, and heartbreak over the incident. Hashtags mentioning Paul Heyman trended globally as clips and reactions filled timelines across every platform. Some fans were furious at Bron Breakker and Bronson, calling for WWE to suspend or fine them for what they did. Others were convinced that the entire segment had gone off script, arguing that it looked far too genuine to have been planned. Wrestling analysts began debating whether the company had taken things too far in the name of realism. Many pointed out that even if this was a storyline, WWE had to be careful when blurring the lines between drama and danger. Fans were emotionally invested, not because of storytelling brilliance, but because it felt disturbingly real. The question of accountability. As reports continued to unfold, the spotlight shifted from the performers to the company itself. How could something like this happen on live television? Why wasn't there an immediate intervention? And if this was indeed part of a storyline, why push it to such a disturbing extreme? WWE has always walked a delicate balance between scripted chaos and genuine emotion. But this time, many fans believe they crossed a line. Commentators, podcasters, and former wrestlers all chimed in, calling for accountability and transparency. They wanted to know if WWE had approved the segment and what steps were being taken to ensure nothing like it ever happened again. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline's next move. One of the biggest questions that immediately surfaced after the incident was, what will Roman Reigns do? Paul Heyman isn't just Roman's wise man. He's family. Their partnership has defined one of the most dominant eras in modern WWE history. For years, Heyman has been the voice and mind behind Roman's empire, the man who helped turn the tribal chief into a global phenomenon. Seeing him taken out in such a shocking way changes everything. Fans are already speculating that Roman's return could come with a vengeance unlike anything we've seen before. A lesson the wrestling world needed. What happened to Paul Heyman is more than just a storyline. It's a reminder of how fragile the balance between fiction and reality can be inside the wrestling ring. The emotion, the passion, the physicality. It's what makes professional wrestling special. But it's also what makes it dangerous when boundaries aren't respected. Whether this incident was a mistake, a miscommunication, or simply a moment that got out of hand, it's clear that everyone involved, from the performers to the production team, will need to learn from it.